now for the classic puff pastry part of making a puff pastry. Folding. Overall, we're going to be folding the dough 4 to 6 times. Today, though, we're just going to do 4 because we are all beginners here. And the first fold is going to be sort of like a business letter. First, we're going to fold the unbuttered third of the dough over towards the middle of the buttered area. So, unbuttered third. And we're going to be covering half of it, just like that. Next, we're going to fold the butter top down over this layer. Okay, now for the next turn. So, to do that, we're going to basically start all over, flouring the dough again and your rolling pin. And whenever your dough breaks, if that does happen, just sprinkle some more flour on it to sort of fill it in. That's kind of happening to me here. Okay, so the second turn is a little bit different than the first. What we're going to do for this is just take one flap, bring it to the middle, and then you take the other flap on the other side and do the same thing to the middle. Once you've done that, folded the 2 other ends, you're going to fold it in half just like a book. There we go. Now all we need to do, we're going to put it in the fridge for about 40 minutes at this point. You can put it in longer if you're planning on finishing your puff pastries later. 2 days would be the max, but for us, we're going to be back in 40 minutes. This is what your puff pastry dough should look like right now. We've done 2 turns and we're about to do turns 3 and 4. Okay, now on to 3 and 4. What we're going to do is beat your dough, make it flat again, soften the butter, and you're actually this time going to spread it out until it's about 10 by 20. We have a split, and sometimes this happens, and you're just going to try and close it up with some flour like it's glue. Okay, now we're ready to start turn 3, which is actually pretty similar to turn 1, as in we're going to do it like a business letter. So we folded this half, and now we're going to do the business letter and fold it over. Just going to sprinkle some more flour here. We got a little bit stuck. Okay, and now the 4th turn is just the same thing. We're going to roll it back out. Keep adding flour. Okay, and now we're ready to fold again. So bring it back. You see some butter peeking through, so I like to put more flour. And then fold it over. And that's all we're going to do for this puff pastry today, and you're ready to stick it in the fridge again for about an hour. So now for the easier and fun part. I waited an hour to get my puff pastry dough from the fridge, and now you're putting it back on your workplace. Make sure there's lots of flour on the surface, and also make sure you've already preheated your oven to 400 degrees. And pretty much what we're going to do is the easiest part of this whole thing. We're going to start the palmiers, and it's very, very simple. All we need now is sugar. Lots of palmier recipes can be used with different ingredients. You can use chocolate, cinnamon, even as exotic as lavender and chamomile. But right now we're just going to do the basic plain palmier. And it's lots and lots of sugar, so it'll be good. So we're just flattening out our dough, and what you're going to do is just try to get it as flat as you can with your rolling pin.